This training video shows officers how to create and submit an activity log using the WTSC's Enterprise Management System's online activity log. First, go to the WEMS website, which is wtsc.smartsimple.com. If you don't have an account yet, you can register for one by clicking this link. You should have access to the system pretty soon after you register. So if you need to register on the night of the enforcement event, you can do that. When you have your login credentials to WEMS, you will click here. The officer home portal like this. At the top, you'll see two buttons, one for creating a new activity log, one for updating your profile, going to your profile. If it's your first time here, you will be prompted to update your profile. In the middle of the home page, you'll see two dashboards, one showing regional activity and the other showing statewide activity. We've picked a selection of data from activity logs to highlight here, and we'll be making adjustments to this throughout the year. At the bottom of the home page, you'll see all the activity logs that you as an officer have submitted, and the various tabs show the different status that the activity logs are in. To create an activity log, you simply click the New Activity Log button. In this first screen that appears, you want to make sure that the correct law enforcement agency here. It is linked to your user account. You can change it if you are working under a different law enforcement agency for the activity that you're completing the activity log for. In this case, we'll just continue. And then it opens the main activity log page. And the first thing we do is save draft. And this will generate the activity log and give it a unique identifying number. The vast majority of the elements of the activity log in WEMS are consistent with what is on the currently used paper activity log. However, it's broken down a little different. In WEMS, the WEMS activity log has 5 main tabs. The main tab shows the identifying information for the officer. The traffic infractions tab is where the officer logs traffic infractions and warnings. Arrest tab is where they log arrests other than DUI. The DUI tab is where DUI arrests are logged. And the totals tab is where the totals are logged. The certification tab is only available to supervisors. So the first thing that you want to do, you can verify that this information is correct. It pulls from your user profile. But the first thing to filling out the activity log is entering the name of the supervisor that you want to send your activity log to. And then you complete the start and end time. So we'll say, let's say Friday the 6th at 9 p.m. and then it ends on the 7th at 2 a.m. And this was overtime. And the difference here is 5 hours, but we purposely did not make the system generate that time because we know that officers can sometimes be pulled from the emphasis patrols for responding to local calls and other needs. And so we wanted to add that flexibility. So you can enter a number here that is no greater than the equal of these two times, so you can enter one that's less than that. We'll just use the full time here, 5 hours. There was a briefing in person and the spotter was not used. Those two fields are new, but there's interest in tracking them. So we added them to the WEMS activity log. Emphasis city, we'll enter the name and select it. The focus, we'll say DUI. And in Olympia, that's Thurston County. So we'll save that. Also on the main tab is a box to enter comments if you'd like to do that, or add attachments if you'd like to. We recognize that 99% of the activity will not include attachments, and that is perfectly fine. For traffic infractions, let's log some infractions. We'll say there were a couple moving violations. I'll say there's some nighttime seatbelt, and then a couple equipment. And let's say there was a failure to yield. And you'll notice that it auto-populated on the main tab, including the totals. And we'll do the same thing with the arrest tab. Again, it populated here on the main tab. For DUI, again, we click Add Modify, but there's a possibility to have multiple DUIs. So for each DUI, you click the plus button. And let's say that the time here was 1 o'clock. It was, say, DUI, alcohol and drug. It was unknown if it's a repeat offender. Yes, there was a DRE evaluation. Say they refused the PBT. Did the field sobriety tests. See their BAC was 0.10. Blood drawn, yes. And this field is a new field. Was blood drawn? You can select yes and no if blood was drawn. If blood was not drawn, then you would click NA because it doesn't apply. But we'll click no in this case. Say enter the stop and location of last drink information. And then the other new field on the DUI section is, was the MI mobile impaired driving unit used? So we'll say no. If you want to add other information that you think would be interesting or useful for the Traffic Safety Commission, you can enter that here. For this, I will leave it blank. So we'll save and close this field. Now go to the Totals tab. I'm going to save draft here, and you'll see these totals on the right side will populate here. And then I'm going to enter total number of contacts. And now it gives me the total average contacts per hour. And our enforcement patrols, they require 3 contacts per hour. And that's the goal that we have. If there's a DUI arrest made, this goal doesn't apply. If there is not a DUI arrest and you're under 3 an hour, the system won't let you submit the activity log without a comment, which is on the main tab at the bottom here. So this one is ready to go, and we will submit to supervisor. And now it takes you back to your home screen, and you can see that the activity log is now saved in the In Review tab, and it's been submitted to the supervisor that you selected on the WEMS activity log, and they will receive a notification to review and certify that it was overtime and approve the activity. This concludes the training for the WEMS activity log. Thank you.